Netflix saved this film because I think if it would have just been released normally in theaters, it wouldn't have done very well. The Lovebirds was directed by Michael Showalter and it stars Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae, a couple who is on the rocks. They get caught up in a murder mystery and they must solve it by the end of the night to try to clear their names and also try to salvage their relationship. So this movie, I remember seeing trailers for it back in early February when I would go to the theater, and it always looked like one of those comedies that was kind of forgettable. And I have to say that it is exactly that. It's a comedy that is a little forgettable. However, it is not a terrible film by any stretch of the imagination. I think that the thing about this movie that makes it so interesting is that this movie either survives or dies by its cast. And I think Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani make the most out of the opportunity that they have with this script. The unfortunate problem is that this movie just isn't quite that funny. This movie tries to rely on humor in a very different way as it tries to put these characters through certain social instances that are a little awkward or a little extreme, and you never quite feel that these instances are truly capable of giving a laugh because you're so caught up with how ridiculously stupid the premise of this movie is. Because essentially, like, these two characters, they get caught up in this murder mystery, and the only reason why they could possibly be framed for this murder is because of the fact that they were just in a car at the wrong time and in the wrong spot. And it was just kind of laughable because it's almost like, well, you know where this is going. I've seen this played out before, and yet the movie tries to give you humor that doesn't work with essentially this premise. I think that if the movie would have focused more on making it feel a little bit like a comedic whodunit, I think that would have worked out a little bit more. Something like a Knives Out, which really worked perfectly in that aspect of giving us a little bit of drama and a little bit of crime mystery mixed in with some great humor. And you have two hilarious people, Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae. I really like Kumail Nanjiani. I've really started to like him a lot, especially after watching something like The Big Sick. He is an absolutely incredibly personable character on screen, and I think that that's what makes him so irresistible to watch. Whereas like Issa Rae, if you watch Insecure, I mean, she is really funny in that show. And so I think that putting these two together was a great choice. I mean, their chemistry is palpable. It feels very realistic. They argue like a realistic couple, and yet there's something so genuine about that. You could tell that they are true friends outside of this production, and you can feel that within the film. However, if this movie would have cast anybody else, this movie would have sucked. It would have been terrible. I think the only reason why I was able to completely focus in on this film is because you had the talents of Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani on screen together, and it worked in that aspect because this really is their movie. It's really on their shoulders, and I think that they do the most that they can with the source material. It's kind of interesting. Anna Camp was like third billing in this film, and yet she's in one scene pretty much for 5 minutes of the movie, and that's it. So again, all of the weight truly falls on Nanjiani and Ray's performances, and I think that they do a good enough job. They're funny and comedic, but I think that these are two actors who can definitely do more outside of the realm of this rom-com slapstick genre, because these are two actors who I think have a lot of dramatic chops, and especially Kumail Nanjiani with something like The Big Sick, where he's able to place humor and also give a very dramatic, real performance. And so I want to see more from these two actors. I think that given the circumstance with where the script was in this film and the way that the jokes fell flat at times, the movie could have been a lot better had they had gone a different route with this film and not just kind of stuck to the schlappy rom-com shtick that pretty much most 2010 and beyond films have been doing for an entire decade now. I just feel like this is just a wash. Like, I've seen this before, and I say that in a lot of reviews, I feel like, but there's just like a cycle, you know, where you've seen something so many times, you're like, okay, I'm kind of done with this flavor. Can I try something different? And that's what I want. And especially with two rising stars like Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae, I feel like they could have done a better job. But anyway, guys, I think that you should go ahead and pass on this movie. It is not a dumpster fire by any means, but I just feel like it's really not worth your time, and you could definitely spend your time going and watching something else. Anyway, guys, what did you think of the Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae film, The Lovebirds? Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay healthy.